absolutely not do we ever compromise on fitness standards. And I think on this tour, our fitness standards and fielding were not where they needed to be. That's acceptable when you see the likes of the young Abid Ali, Hasnain, guys like that hadn't been in our setup before, guys like that didn't know the standards expected. We work with those guys that have been in our setup for a long period of time, who know what the standards are. We will never ever compromise on that fitness. So all of our key players, I have no doubt, are fit enough and ready to go to the World Cup. It's our bench strength players. It's our players that sit just under our setup that are a worry, and how we pull those guys to the level is going to rest on themselves, and is going to rest on the structure to give them that education, to make sure when they step up into our side, they're ready to go and they're at the level required that we expect of them. Sorry, the first one was that Mohammed Rizwan. Mohammed Amir. Look, I rate Mohammed Amir highly, and everybody knows that. I think he's a wonderfully skilled bowler. I think he's got big match temperament. Mohammed Amir rises to the occasions when we need him to rise to the occasions. He would be the first to admit, though, that his form hasn't been good. It's not necessarily his form, it's the fact that he hasn't struck. He hasn't taken wickets. Inzi and I will sit down, we'll make that decision in the next couple of days along with the selection panel. Abid Ali was very impressive this tour, very impressive. Abid Ali came into the setup, his attitude, his work ethic, the extra little bit of work he did through the tour was incredible. He's a hungry man who wants to play cricket for Pakistan. So I'm incredibly impressed with Abid Ali, incredibly impressed with everything he brought to the side, and I thought the 100 he got on debut was a very, very good innings. Look, I think myself and Inzi was over there. Inzi and I spoke a lot. We spoke after every game. We're very clear in the direction we want. We're very clear in the team that is going to represent Pakistan at the World Cup. As I say, we'll meet I'm meeting our coaches this afternoon. We've got individual player plans for every one of our players that have come back. Those individual player plans will be a build up to the England tour for the guys that we're wanting to take. Myself and the selectors will sit down, I guess, in the next couple of days and start our final work towards that World Cup squad. We'll have fitness testing around April 14, April 15. We've just got to, again, we'll work that back in terms of our individual planning today, and then pretty much soon after that, once I've met with Inzi today, we'll have a date on when the World Cup squad will be announced. All I can say, Umar Akmal's attitude through the tour was very good. All I can say is that Umar Akmal arrived there, he worked exceptionally hard, he trained hard, he tried very hard to impress in all areas, and he'll be disappointed he didn't get a big innings. I'm never satisfied in terms of losing. I hate losing, we hate losing. Losing is not part of our vocabulary. We certainly don't prepare teams to lose. So losing 5-0 hurts incredibly hard, incredibly hard. In terms of individual player plans, every one of our players that are going to go to the World Cup and are going to tour England, and that includes some reserve players, because I think during a World Cup you have injuries, you need players to come in at different times. We need those players fit and firing. So it'll probably, we're talking about 18 players here. We'll have individual player plans from today. Those players, I've already asked our skills coaches to give me what they think is necessary for every one of our players, and that might be death bowling, it might be variations, it might be bowling slow balls. Power hitting is an area we need to considerably work on. So I've asked our skilled coaches to give me those plans, and those plans we will start implementing in the next couple of days with each and every one of those players. Plus the fact that we need our players at optimum fitness level. We saw the difference in the field in terms of our normal players, our guys that we've worked with for 2 years, and players that have just come into our system. The gap is massive. The gap is massive. We can't have that ever happen again.